team, but he did do a lot. He was a very vocal coach. I liked him. And the way I ended up in Minot was we just ended up playing one game. It was like, I can't remember. It was like a tournament, I guess.
Yeah.
And my coach, saying I didn't expect Minot to be there. If anything, I had other coaches in mind, other schools that were going to show up, but I played good enough, and TJ was the one that reached out to me. And
Perez.
Yes, I loved him. I guess something I will say from the start is just that he was like the only coach that wanted me, I guess. Like, I actually felt like I was wanted. Other coaches were always like back and forth, like, oh, we'll see, and this and that. But TJ's like, I like the way you play. Yes.
He knew.
And like, it was just like very mutual, like I wanted to play soccer. I want to play a good D2 soccer, and this is a good school, and he was able to emphasize it well. And another thing that I actually pointed out was I didn't get to actually do an on-campus visit, so...
Yeah, me either.
Really? Okay, yeah. A lot of my teammates didn't. A lot of us had to do a FaceTime call with a teammate.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So, but, I mean, I don't know. I never even been in the snow before, so we're going to see how that goes. I'm like, if other people can do it, I can do it.
If Island boys can do it, Cali girls can do it. Like,
exactly.
That's what I preferably think. Well, let's stop right there then. You didn't get to get your visit in person. What do you think of Minot so far?
I actually kind of like how it's just everything's so close and small. Like, I'm saving gas like never before.
Trust me, I know.
I have gas like for 3 weeks, which is amazing for me.
I love, to everyone in the city of Minot, I will never complain about the gas prices, because where I'm coming from, we're paying $7 a gallon.
Are you serious?
Oh. I have never once looked at how much was for gas, because I just know it's like under at least $4.
Yeah.
And that, to me, chef's kisses. That is wonderful. I love gas prices here.
Oh my, yeah, I see $4 and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's cheap. But here it's like, yeah. And then I don't have to drive that much either.
Exactly. So like you said, I don't have to look at maps for traffic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, those are things you probably had to do in Cali. And now, like, the closeness of Minot, not just the close of everything in proximity, but I'm sure the people.
Yeah.
What is teammates like? I know you just meeting them in like, for 2 months now, but talk about your relationships with girls on the soccer team.
The first 2 weeks, I think the bond became strong right away just because it was the preseason and we were running and working out like no other. And I'm a goalkeeper, so my fitness is not the same as a field player, but I had to make the times like a field player.
Yeah.
So, but luckily, honestly, the one thing I did notice about like just being here is everyone's so nice. Like, especially the team. A lot of the girls from California too, which I like.
Yeah, you guys have a good amount of girls from Cali.
Yeah, so it just felt like more closeness, I guess. Even though we get to like talk about little California things, and I'm like, oh, someone gets me.
Yeah.
But just TJ also himself emphasizes on like just team culture, and like he doesn't just tell us what he wants as a coach, like his goals. Like, we as a team come together and be like, yeah, we want to do this, we want to do that. Like, we have our meetings ourselves to do that. And I think that's important, because you know what you want as a team is not just your coach telling you like, this is what I want.
Yeah, that's really good. That way you're not feel as though you're blindsided. Your input matters, and you knew that before you came here. You knew TJ respected you enough to see your value, and now you're being valued here. You're coming from a school where you had 13 shutouts in 2 seasons, and you were 2-time All-League selection. So why not stay? We're getting someone that's very, very, very respected in the goalie spot. Talk about your past few games. How's it been in goal? Is anything continuing to feel like a difference at the JUCO level, now to the D2 level? Certain spots in the goal, do you feel like you have to look out for more? What are you thinking?
Yeah, definitely just the pacing in general. JUCO was like, I mean, I wasn't like at a higher level JUCO, it was very competitive where I was at, but like just being here is just like every team is a competition. There's no easy win when, at JUCO there'd be that 1 or 2 games where it's like, okay.
You're probably not doing too much.
I wasn't doing anything, shutouts, 5-0, stuff like that. But here every game is a battle, which I actually love, I'm finally here playing collegiate soccer, so it is exciting, but I really want to be able to get some shutouts. I haven't been able to do that lately. I'm waiting for that moment. But definitely just like I have to pay attention more to the smaller stuff. I can't be like I have to be more aware than I usually am. I was able to be more little like of a go-getter. Like I want to do this and that. Like some things are working, some things I got to adjust. So definitely I'm doing a lot more film with TJ and like the other coaches. Like what can I do here? Because there is like I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Why did I get scored on here? And sometimes I'll be like, it wasn't even your fault. But if it's in the goal,
then you think it's your fault.
Yeah, there's got to be something I could do different.
Yeah, that's the right mentality to have. And You were NSIC Goalie of the Week during the week of September 11th, so you're already taking your steps of accomplishments here at Minot State. Let's hope you get that shutouts with an S, more than one. You're going to get a couple, right, in your first year here and your endeavors here. How much longer do you have here at Minot?
I am a transfer junior, so this year and I'm maybe.
We'll see how the future holds.
Yeah, we'll see how it holds.
We'll leave it right there. We'll pin that right there and see where the future holds. Well, Siri, you must get a lot of "Hey Siri" jokes, huh?
Oh, people's phones go off all the time. Yeah.
All right, Siri, thank you so much for joining me on this Inside the Dam podcast. To our listeners out there, stick with us as Myles West, running back here at Minot State University, will sit down with our very own Cole Clementich to talk more here on the Inside the Dam podcast. Howard Wade signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to the Inside the Dam podcast. KMSU is proud to partner with Minot State University Athletics and bring an inside look to student athletes and coaches on campus. Inside the Dam is brought to you by Papa John's. Don't forget to check out their MSU special. You can get a large 2-topping pizza for $7.99 if you show a valid MSU ID. We thank Admir and the Papa John's crew for sponsoring the Inside the Dam podcast. We will be right back with our next guest. Thank you for tuning in to the Inside the Dam podcast. KMSU is proud to partner with Minot State University Athletics and bring an inside look to student athletes and coaches on campus. Inside the Dam is brought to you by Papa John's. Don't forget to check out their MSU special. You can get a large 2-topping pizza for $7.99 if you show a valid MSU ID. We thank Admir and the Papa John's crew for sponsoring the Inside the Dam podcast. We will be right back with our next guest. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Inside the Dam podcast. I am Cole Clementich, back in the host chair. Big thanks to Howard for stepping in tonight and interviewing. A great talk with Siriana Gudino. We want to apologize in advance for the audio technical difficulties we've been having tonight. Hopefully, we should have a new copy of the show on the iPad that has full audio, I would think, but if not, we'll move ahead with a plan B going forward. In fact, I'll actually press record button now on the audio board so we have a backup plan. But before we get into our third and final guest here, folks, want to remind you about Papa John's, as they are the premier sponsor of the Inside the Dam podcast. Hit them up on their website. Search for any deals they may have going on. Search Papa John's in Minot. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That's 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. With our final guest here tonight as a true freshman running back, he's from Cypress, Texas, and Cypress Woods High School. He was also named to the all-district team as a senior in high school and rushed like crazy against Wayne State College last weekend. Myles West joins us. Myles, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, Myles. So talk about, your start to the season personally, to step in right away as a true freshman. Like, that's not easy to do. Even at D2 college athletics, that's just amazing. But talk through us, your start to the season, how you've been feeling personally and, working with the team as well.
I think the transition from coming from so far away from home has been great. Everybody's been the team has embraced me a lot. It's been a really smooth transition, and as far as like the transition, as far as like the working with the team and stuff like that, it's been really easy. It's been everything kind of been explained to me, and I was able to learn a lot faster with me coming in earlier on this summer, and yeah, everything's been pretty good so far. It's been great.
Oh, that's very good right there, Myles. And, your game this past weekend against Wayne, rushing for 90 yards this past weekend, kind of talk to us about, getting all these touches early and all these, stat lines. You've been putting up some pretty impressive numbers. Who or what do you attribute that to so far this season?
Well, first I just want to thank this current coaching staff for believing in me and taking a chance on me and putting me out there so early. But as far as like what's led up to it, well, one, I'd like to thank my parents because they were driving me all around town like crazy, getting me to training and getting me to these places. And my trainer, Coach Bo, back in Houston, he's got me through this a lot. And also my uncle, he's been training me for the last year or two, and that's really helped me. He's kind of just been like adding stuff from his game whenever he used to play. And just kind of, I also like to take stuff from different running backs that have played in the past, like Arian Foster, Le'Veon Bell, and just kind of add stuff like that to my game. So
there you go. Like to look up to a few NFL players that have played the game or are currently playing in the game. You know, you mentioned those guys that you like to follow. Do you follow any other teams in particular?
Definitely, I'm a Bills fan.
Buffalo Bills, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Allen and James Cook and Von Miller's my guy, by the way.
Yeah,
So I'm a Broncos fan, but I still love Von Miller to death. So no, that is good. Yeah, Bills are doing some serious damage this season. But moving on here. So obviously, with the new coaching staff coming in, as a true freshman, what's the viewpoint like for an incoming student to a new university? What's the transition been like for you coming up here to Minot and getting those few first practices in? What was that kind of like for you?
The first practice, it actually went really well for me. I think I did really well. I mean, my first play, I think I scored on actually.
Oh, nice.
In fall camp, it was just a really smooth transition. I kind of knew coming in that I was going to get some reps straight away because Coach Shields had explained that to me in the recruiting process as well as Coach Pham. And I was kind of expecting it, and I was also preparing for it and training for it in the offseason leading up to it. So I was kind of expecting that, but the transition coming in, it was kind of easy. There was a few times where I had to get used to like the speed of the game and stuff like that, especially in the first game. But ever since then, it's been pretty smooth.
Yeah, I see you're getting some love here on the YouTube chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. But, Myles, this triple option scheme kind of fits to your abilities. And for working in that running back room, what is it like to work with guys like Evan and obviously, I mean, Devin Daniels and Jonathan Noriega are listed as receivers. They've been kind of lined up as running backs. And Sam Buchanan's another one. Talk about what it's like working in that room in particular.
They've been very, very helpful for me. They've kind of explained if I miss something here, Sam and Evan will kind of pitch in and be like, look for this or look for this, and they've been really, really helpful for me. They've helped me read stuff a lot better and kind of have helped me with the runs that I've had so far this year too. So.
And you guys facing some early adversity now with Dawson McCleary going down with injury. We wish the best to him in his recovery. But now you guys, moving on this game, although I don't want to speculate too much. Hopefully he is ready to go for next game. But, going ahead to Northern State, what are you guys looking most forward to? Kind of what's kind of the outlook? What are some of the expectations? What do you guys hope to accomplish versus them this weekend?
Well, I mean, really what we've been seeing and what Coach Shields has been preaching to us in the locker room after the games and at practice is we just have to put both sides of the ball together. Some games we've played really well offensively, not so much defensively, and vice versa. So I think this week we will be able to put both of those together and come out with a W.
Oh, that is good. And moving away now from the gridiron, talk about as a new student to Minot State and citizen to the Minot community, I'll first ask this question here. What's been the adjustment like for you going from Texas to a state up north like North Dakota where, brace yourself for the snow?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, right now, whenever we have, like, hotter days, like, at practice, everyone's like, oh, man, it's so hot. But then, like, it'd only be 81 degrees. In Houston, I'm used to that. But I think it'll be very different in a couple weeks here pretty much. But I mean, right now it's not too much of an adjustment. It's been really smooth. Everybody here in the community has been very nice and very open to any questions that I may or may have, which is also really good. That's kind of something I was kind of unsure about, like what's everybody up there like. But yeah, everything's been really really good so far.
No, that is awesome indeed. And now with the adjustment to the community, now let's talk about school, campus, classrooms. What discoveries have you made about Minus A? What do you like so far about the campus?
I like how everything's close together. I don't have to walk very far from my dorm to my first class, it's like a 2 minute walk. It's everything's so close, and it's not very a difficult campus to navigate. So that's been really good. I thought I would be lost like my first day, but everything's been pretty easy. Just especially getting to my classes, because all my classes are close to where I'm at, and yeah, that's been real good.
Talk about the facilities. Obviously, the Herb with the beautiful view of the city, the MSU Dome fits 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Obviously, this upcoming spring, there's going to be state basketball. That's going to be electric. But your thoughts? How have you liked the facilities?
It's been great. They look really, really good. Better than I had originally expected, because I didn't really get like a full tour of everything whenever I came for my visit. But as I've been playing and as I've been using the facilities more, I've realized how nice it is. Like a couple of days ago, I figured out we had underground tunnels for like certain stuff. I didn't know we had that.
No, it's crazy, and the stuff that Minot State likes to hold on to, and some discoveries that a lot of students make here in their first time. But talk about some of your favorite things to do on campus. First off, have you been to an MSU Life event?
Yeah, I went to the bingo event.
You went to bingo? Awesome, because that is a fan favorite for everyone, for a lot of the students, especially the new ones that come to campus. But talk about, what are some activities, away from the gridiron, any favorite study spots, or just anything in general? What do you like to do on campus?
So my favorite thing right now is after practice, I like to stretch in the wrestling room and also go to the academic center to kind of just relax in there, because it's a really quiet, peaceful room, like kind of to itself. And another thing that I like to do is I like to play sand volleyball a lot. So that's been really good. I found a new team.
There you go.
Found a team, intramural team that I can join soon. But yeah, those are some things that I like to do. But I mean, pretty much a lot of times taken up by football. But sometimes I like to branch out, hang out with my friends, or play sand volleyball, or do different little stuff. I'm still kind of figuring different little stuff out to do. So.
And that's totally fair. Yeah, for new students like you, yeah, there's still a lot of potential to be had moving forward. But now moving ahead, talking both in the classroom. Actually, let's talk a little bit about your major. So have you found one yet? And if so, what's classroom life like for you?
So my major right now is entrepreneurship, and the classes and the professors are really good. My classes, it's definitely a little different than my high school schedule, because where I'm from, you got either 5 or 7 classes, and some days you only got 1 or 2 classes. So it's a little different. I think it's a little easier actually to really focus on what you're learning, instead of having to worry about, oh, I got this class after this or this class after this. Sometimes you got a couple hours break before your next class, or if you don't have any, you have a lot more time to study, in my opinion, to really retain what you're learning. So it's been a lot easier for me.
That's got to be a nice adjustment there. And before we send you off here, any expectations? Obviously, first year on the team at school here at Minot State. What are some personal goals that you would like to accomplish while you're here in your time at Minot State? And also, maybe what would you like to do with your entrepreneurship degree?
Okay. Some of the goals that I have for myself is just to, of course, I want to get to that 1,000-yard mark. Of course, I want to achieve different little records here. I'd like to etch my name in history before I go. One record that I want to get is the single season touchdown record, and also the single season rushing record too. And what I want to do with my degree is to like build my own business in training, in football, and in really athletic training in general. So like have like a separate facility and get athletes, football athletes first, then branch out into other sports, maybe even branch out into 7-on-7 and do different little stuff here and there. Probably go to Houston, maybe branch out to bigger areas where football is a huge key, because football is something that I really enjoy doing and enjoy teaching and coaching and just playing in general. So that's definitely something that I want to do. But I also want to understand like the business side of it so that I can go into different areas and different realms, not just be athletic training, but maybe go into some other areas with it as well.
And we wish you all the best in those future endeavors, and we are very happy to have you on board here at Minot State and on the football team. Myles, before we send you off here, anything else you'd like to mention to the fans out there?
Just keep supporting the football team. Hope we'll come out with a W for you, and just keep giving us support, and we'll come through on it for sure.
Absolutely, and well said there, Myles. Thank you for being on the Inside the Dam podcast today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
There you have it, folks. You just heard running back Myles West, true freshman from Cypress, Texas, and upcoming home game for Minot State football. They'll be back October 14th. I believe that is another 1 o'clock kickoff against Concordia St. Paul, the Golden Bears. As for upcoming home games this week, before we send it off here, Gage, I'm going to have you select the MSU volleyball upcoming home game slide. There we go. And with that being said, folks, this week, that's the only game we have going on. So home games on campus. If you're in and around the Minot area or Minot State campus, be sure to go support the ladies on the volleyball team as they host MSU Moorhead. That's going to do it for us here on the Inside the Dam podcast. We want to give one last reminder. Papa John's is the premier sponsor of the Inside the Dam podcast. Hit them up on their website. Search for any deals they may have going on. Search Papa John's in Minot. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That's 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. We thank Admir and the Papa John's crew for supporting the Inside the Dam podcast each and every week. I'm Cole Clementich, along with Howard Wade, and big thanks to Trevin Badger and Gage Yost on the tech side of things tonight. Thank you, boys, for stepping in. And to recap the show, obviously dealing with some technical difficulties with the audio. Hopefully the new copy should have full audio, but we're going to check and see here. If not, we'll go with a plan B. But you heard Jake Anthony from men's hockey, goaltender starting goaltender for the Beavers, stopped all 4 shots in the shootouts Friday, and a 1-goal against performance on Saturday. Siriana Gudino, starting in net goalkeeper for MSU women's soccer, and Myles West, running back for MSU football. That'll do it for us. Thank you for tuning in to watch and for all the support on the chat as always. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Take care. We'll see you all next time.